Hello and welcome. It is that of the 30th of March 2019. My name is Derek and welcome to the Money Charts channel. The one thing that I don't do too often is talk about the traditional situations in which traders are looking for opportunities to go long or to go short. They all pretty much act the same. And there's an interesting channel on YouTube, and I haven't seen too many of the videos. In fact, I've only watched one in full, bits and pieces of a couple more, and I've seen the titles to a few of them. And they all generally have the exact same strategy. And one of it in here, I know for sure, has got to be going long now, at this time, and maybe if you're trying to get a better price, but I don't know how else to put it. And as the title says, yes, this is a channel update. And within it, I'm going to be going over the stuff that I want to talk about. And really, the stuff I'm probably going to write very little about. Right? I'll talk about that in a little bit. I don't even know if it's going to happen, although it's just the plan right now. And they all state, and everyone who talks about trading and write books about entries to go long, and this to me is one of them. You had this level of resistance that it retested from back in here, giving it lots of credential. I use the 18 average. Of course, I'd write about this. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But it corrected it successfully. Then we can see on this day that it managed to hold and stay above after it broke above it the day before, pausing that day while doing so at this previous level of resistance. Today, breaking it out. This is when you want to simplify the time frames. But it's okay. Why do we have like this? So I guess I have to do auto. Well, it's just broken above this level of resistance. It's a clear breakout at this point. I mean, the way I look at it, it's let's just wait to buy it back here. Well, to what? Save about to 24.45 down to 24.07 or whatever, 24.05. That's a differential of like 1.7%. Okay. Considering we look at this on the daily, what it's probably going to do, and on the weekly, just establish a level of resistance. So you're looking for significant gains here of better than 10%. And who knows what more after that, because this could be a very good long-term swing trade, as they say. But that's always, as I've considered my trading strategy, is swing trading. Just swing up and down, back and forth. But I've never ever heard of a trader talking about any type of strategy close to the one that I've talked about within my channel. Okay. Maybe in a spot like this, you are looking for a correctionary move back. Again, the risk there, I mean, this might be one of the proper times to use that FOMO, I guess, fear of missing out. But I mean, I don't play it this way, but I just got to think this is a time when you would got to go long. Now, for me, as a trader, I decided a couple days ago to trade this with theta. So if this goes up pretty good, well, funds go into exchange, dash that is, sell. Whatever I sell it for, I'm going to buy in theta, and so on and so forth, and see how many of each of the two coins I can accumulate and distribute doing the strategy. And it's a strategy I've talked about in the more information box, and well, quite frankly, I'm going to stop talking about it very soon, and the links will also be removed in the more information box in the next couple of weeks, probably as well. And the only way there's ever going to be another video talking about this is if I think it's needed for any of my live students. So that if there's one to come up, then that's exactly why I'll be doing it. And therefore, and I'm just thinking, I mean, I'm probably going to be forced to write 300 pages, but I don't know how many pages it would be. But that's where I'm going to really refer to. I really have to write for the basic people, too. Because I want to target this to people whom have careers like truck drivers and hairdressers or haircutters, people who work in retail, people who are human resource managers, people who have any miscellaneous job, people who are in high school, students who are in accounting class. I mean, almost anybody. Because my strategy never requires you to even ever look at a chart, to even know any kind of short term fundamental news to adjust any kind of plays. Of course, the more skill that you have that you can work around with it, well, the better off you may do. But simply just using this mathematical strategy of just letting the numbers come to be. And that's what it comes down to. Because for me, this is one of my spreadsheets. I don't even have a trade on here yet because I just started this a couple days ago. When I decided to do it, the ratio was basically 850 to 1 amongst dash and theta. And this is a number which is this number multiply 1.2, a 20% move. I just need this to rise above 1020. It's at 916 now, so it's not there. And then 708 go below that, so basically under 700. At that point, I would have an alert to say, okay, look at it. Maybe I can use any type of day trading analysis to try to get better deals. Of course, I'm always going to look for things like that. But just let the market do what it needs to do and then just react to what it does. So, what I'll probably end up doing is one video a day, the crypto day mornings, and whether we'll get 18-minute videos, it's mainly going to be Bitcoin against the dollar. That's mainly going to be the main one. Yeah, I'll talk about a few of these, but there's not going to be that many coins that come into play. As I've pretty, I mean, my strategy doesn't have like any type of like alert call group. Oh, get into this at this point. No, it teaches yourself how to do it. And I'm hoping that one of the reasons that the viewership levels of the numbers for why they're so low. Because my last video that I did two videos on NLC2 compared to that of DGB, something I'm trading myself together now. So therefore, let's put up those two charts. First, we have Gigabyte, and to me, this is just a fun one to trade. What I like about the Trezor wallet, and I got to think other wallets are the same as well. And I don't even know about the Nano for this, but I do know this about the Trezor. You can have different accounts. And I always like to know inventory wise. Oh, I own this much, so I know I can afford to sell this much. So I have one separate account for my trade against Litecoin, and then one separate account for my trade against NLC2. And I wouldn't be surprised if I have 4 or 5 accounts soon. So really, I mean, DGB is a fun coin. I think it's a good one. I'm taking a chance on it, where I can just trade it against August other ones because it has its own wild moves as it is. And that's what I like about it. Even like stuff like, I mean, even before this, there was a nice little up move before. But going from like 262 up to like 340, this down move and up move like this really helps the volatility when you are combining other coins against it. And I mean, yeah, a lot of stuff like will come in here where September, all of this sideways action. Okay, maybe you have a little sell here and a little buy here. Other than that, from your last buy, say in here, like middle of August, all the way really just grinding into the end of October, you were just doing nothing other than what the other coin would have been doing. But it would have meant in here when this is doing sideways, if the other coin goes up, well, you'd sell it for this, and then it goes back down. You held it into something that kept its value close to what it was, and then you just trade it back. So you can still get trades depending on what the other coin did. But in a year of 2018, when everything seemed to be bearish, here was a spot in June all the way up of mid-June to like early July, or week ending July, 2 weeks maybe. Price action goes from that of like almost 300 to 680. Okay. And then gives it all back. Same thing here in April, Fool's Rally. 2.5 up to 520. That's a little better than double. Now, a lot of other coins would have all went up as well with it. So you could see maybe a disadvantage to trading two coins together where you would have trading DGB against Bitcoin. You might have got a 2x move. Where other coins might have went up 60, 70% and then it would have went up like a marginal amount. But there's even ways around that where if you want to play advanced, something I also want to write too is when the value of these coins against Bitcoin are perceivably worth very high. If you want to take a chance on that, you could sell it on the market, hold it in Bitcoin, and then when it goes down, you'd buy it. So in a spot like this, say you were trading two coins together, the other coin was kicking ass as well. So I'm going to sell some DGB for Bitcoin. I'm going to sell whatever your altcoin is for Bitcoin. And then in this case here, let's just assume it was coming down to say you're going for a 61.8% fib at say 320 something after selling at 5. Okay, I'm going to take that Bitcoin, buy DGB, and your other coin probably did the same thing. You would have got the buyback there as well. So looking at multiple ways of going through profits, and then when you have this kick-ass volatility like we've seen before, and this was a secondary move as this got to well over 1,000 before, but 800 already done to 240 in this case, rising on your December lows from like in the 80s area. So a 10x move, and amongst the 10x move, you go from 617 down to 364. And if you get lucky enough where you're playing two coins, maybe on these 2 days your other coins go down maybe or don't go up much at all. And then during these 2 day decline, maybe other coins actually go up a little bit. That just makes your volatility even sweeter. But in a case like this, when everything was going up in December, how could you have not wanted to sell a lot of your altcoins into Bitcoin? How would you not want to, of course, sell your Bitcoin into dollars in any sense, or gold and silver? So when I say dollars, I mean whatever else you're going to turn them into. Stocks, any of those kinds of things. Although you can say the stock market's high, but you don't know. At least you're taking profits. Maybe you play the same sort of game in the stock market as well. Now, whether we get these style moves again, I mean, it hit 2,500 before from where? From 118. So is it capable of doing it again from today's prices? And I'm just going to push this button, which will take us to current. It's going to fast forward it. Okay, that was interesting. So from 240 lows, do you think it could go up to 2,500? Maybe, maybe not. Bottom is, I welcome the volatility. And when I'm looking at this setup, whether it's right or wrong, I don't care. But I'm not too enthusiastic about this next short-term move. So if I was to guess, will this next significant move be lower or higher to the exact same mathematical equivalency of volatility? Because right now 212 and 319 would not be. So I'm not talking about that ratio, but significant move where, say, you will refer to 212 again, or even say just another 220. That would be 31 basis points on 220. We're looking at about almost 16%. So we'll just do about 33 on top. So that would be about 284. 284. So I think there's a better chance that it hits about 220 than it does 284 next. That's what That's what I'm thinking. Showing a lot of weakness amongst it. So it's very easy right now for me to just put in a sell here of NLC2, taking some funds from my wallet, the online wallet, and then turning it into waiting for 20 confirmations on Bittrex. Didn't take that long, but a little bit of time, not enough to make it a problem. Like say Vercoin on Poloniex, which actually takes over a day or about a day. Yeah, not so 1,000 confirmations there. Same thing on Bittrex too. It's 1,000 confirmations there as well. So it's not fun to wait a day, especially when you know a move is happening. And you know you got 30, 40 minutes oftentimes. But anyway, as it goes, I took that on there and I bought DGB and I moved it into account number 2 of my hardware wallet. And I have 0% of my NLC2 on the exchanges, that other than Cryptopia, which will just go off when I get it. And I got 0% of my DGB, again, with the exception of Cryptopia, on exchanges there. I got that in my Trezor wallet. And I wouldn't be surprised again later on account 3, 4, 5 would be for this code, that code, because I think this is just it's like the gold standard to me. The coins on the crypto market, at least for myself, for ones to trade amongst each other, even on exchanges where DGB doesn't trade, like say, well, Binance being one, and even sites like Cryptopia, even when it comes back, because I mean, I want to make sure when I play DGB and I'm buying and selling that I'm getting the fair price. If I see the price of DGB is like 420, then I'm expecting the ratio to be between like 418, 19, 20 to be in that area. And it should be a 1 point differential. But I know on Cryptopia, two problems are going to happen. You're going to usually have a ratio that's so bad, and um, you're just going to have to take a bad price when you buy or sell because it's a thin order book. And not only that, but when you have stakes that are bigger than what they are, maybe if you're buying at a number, you have to buy it up two or three different numbers to fill your order. That's not fun. So I have to make sure it's on a good exchange, but that doesn't mean I can't sell something on one exchange and buy something else on a totally different one. As long as you have the Bitcoin to do it to suffice, and I do, then there's nothing wrong with that. So I can take a coin like XBY, which I will be most likely playing this together with XBY and DGB, but I can trade it on a totally different exchange and so on and so forth. Plus, if I'm going to be playing XBY, there's going to be a little bit of arbitraging possibilities. That's something I could write as like a bonus chapter because I could do that separately where I could try to arbitrage XBY through two exchanges, which means seeing what Coin Exchange has, seeing what Cryptopia has, and if I can buy and sell at the same time for a profit, then I do that. I did that very well, and it's most likely going to be with those two exchanges, with Cryptopia and Coin Exchange, that they're going to probably be close to volume. There's going to be no monopolies anymore. Cryptopia owns the monopoly, at least they did, of XBY before, because everywhere else that would trade it would not trade it for that much volume. It used to be back in the day between Yobit and C/CEX that they would trade close to the same volume. And then even in the early Cryptopia stages, it was working that way as well. And it was very easy to get amazing arbitrages, and you play it differently within both evenly moving markets and ones where, like, for example, say on Coin Exchange, I'm looking at arbitrage coins like Feathercoin and Komodo and NLC2, which you could try to do it on there. It's a market where you might get 2, 5, 10 trades a day. It's a totally different strategy to do it on that. And I'm not even trying to do any of that with this coin there right now. So therefore, yes, I mean, a lot of it is the lower view count that I'm just going to refrain away from doing it. I figure if I keep these videos going afloat, and hopefully I can get this book completed by the time that the view counts go up. And when do the counts go up? When the crypto market tells me it goes up. And then I can just use this as a platform for selling it. I don't see what other options are left at this stage. So again, you're going to get like a lot of 4 minute, maybe 2, 3, 5 minute videos. Maybe it's 12 or 15, depending on the situation. Because even though my strategy I talk about doesn't need much for charts and it's all math based, what I talk about every time, and let's just go to Bitcoin, just do a quick little update now. And this is a market trying to get above it. So therefore, just like Dash I showed on the outset, you'd have to wait for this to have a clear break above like 42.77 area. Above this, then you'd be really much in gear. Some people might even say after you've seen these 2 days that just around 40.57, 40.68 was a good time. And if it's holding up, there's not much of a difference now. It's only up about another 0.6% or so since that point. Holding in there good. However, I'm in a situation right now when you use Bitcoin for cash, for real things. You're kind of trying to hold off here because, well, I mean, I can, like, buy some, like, grocery style items, or I could just wait for these higher prices and get things a little cheaper. Cost a little less to buy everyday items, which of course within cryptocurrencies, if you think, oh, they have no value, what good are they? Well, I can, they're valuable. It's not the, when I say it's not the hardest of things to um, use as far as Bitcoin and anything of that nature, Litecoin. And even if you don't like Bitcoin, anytime you want to use it for that, you can always just buy the Bitcoin you need at an exchange somewhere, put it onto your hardware wallet, and then just spend with it there. Or even if you just have it on, like, say, Poloniex or Bittrex or something, and you're looking to pay some sort of bill or buy something for, say, 0.25 Bitcoin, and you don't like Bitcoin, you like other currencies, we'll say. So you sell that other currency for 2.5 worth, and then you buy what you need. There you got the funds, and you withdraw it on Bittrex and or whatever other site as the payment, and then it goes through. Usually, it's at least with Bittrex and Poloniex. I noticed that when I withdraw it, that I track how fast it takes to get off there. It works pretty fast. It's once you push the confirm button, it's scripted where it automatically gets done. Within Binance, I've seen it happen very slow, where I can push the button and it goes stays pending for maybe like many a minutes, and so therefore, if there's a timer waiting like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, it might not suffice to such. Whereas every time I send my funds to something like when I'm buying silver, and they give you like a 10-minute clock for it to be paid, I mean it's always hit within 2 to 3 minutes. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to be. Viewership numbers are just way too low, and I'm giving away way too much good information on this channel and not getting what I feel is suffice in return. And that's why from here on in, it's just going to be every single day, mostly looking at Bitcoin and Litecoin. Got Bitcoin against the dollar, Litecoin against the US dollar as well. Not going to show much more. Of course, gold and silver is going to keep going as it is. There's going to be no change to that. The market volatility for the precious metals determines how often I make the videos. It's barely picking up a little bit, but still nothing to get too excited on precious metals about. Oh, okay, let's do like 5 videos a week or do them daily for that matter. I hope I can get to the point where they're being done daily. But right now I can't. Although that might be an interesting idea. Like just do like 2 videos a day, like crypto day morning, and then maybe some sort of funky little name for the metals. Um, But then do I really? Because I got the name Money Charts. The whole point of me making that name was because my plan was I'm definitely going to be showing cryptos, definitely going to be showing gold and silver, and I'll even talk about stock markets here and there. So it's pretty much been aligned to such, and whether I'll continue on with stocks here and there, despite the fact that I haven't owned a stock in pretty much close to 10 years now. That no, I'm probably gonna keep what I'm doing on that. Very, very odd time talk about things like that. So thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye bye.